Good evening, I'm Amelia Lee. In Leslie County, folks who live in higher ground areas have actually been the biggest concern with flooding cutting off their access to town. WYMT's Caroline Mueller spoke with emergency officials and one woman who says she and her 90-year-old father are stranded at home.
You can see behind me, flooding from Buckhorn Lake has left this road completely impassable. This has folks in the Dry Hill and Confluence areas stranded.
We lost power, lost water, and lost telephone. I mean, it's really tough, you know. You can't flush your commode, can't wash dishes. You're just stuck. It's me. I'm almost 73, and my little dad, who is 90 years old, and we both have heart conditions.
Patricia Cordell says her biggest frustration is the lack of response from officials. She believes the dam is being held back to prevent flooding in other areas at the expense of her community.
They will flood us to keep the water here from going north to the higher populated areas. But it's okay to do us this way because we're a low populated area.
Leslie County Emergency Management Director Tony Hacker says crews are working to reach those stranded in Dry Hill and Confluence. He confirms that rescue teams have been deployed and that they are coordinating with state agencies to deliver aid.
We're doing all we can right now. We're going to have Fish and Wildlife. We'll be using boats to deliver MREs and water down to the residents. As far as propane and generators, we may have to rely on the National Guard for that.
Hacker says water levels are starting to recede, but folks may still be cut off for several more days. In the meantime, Cordell and her father are hoping for relief before temperatures drop even lower.
We have Coleman lanterns. I've got one tank left of fuel. After that, we'll have no light. After it gets dark, we're in the dark. I would just like to see them let the water out. That's all. Let enough of it out to get it off the roads so that people can be taken care of.
And with freezing temperatures and snow chances the rest of the week, there is a heightened sense of urgency to get people help. In Leslie County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Hacker says they are working to respond as quickly as possible. Many folks say this is the highest they have seen the water in Buckhorn Lake reach. Water levels are still higher than normal at Carr Creek Lake. The Little Carr Recreation Area remains blocked off. At Lit Carr, water levels will still remain at the roofs of the bathroom and picnic areas. James Sandlin with the emergency management team in Knott County said that the community is working together on recovering after the flooding.
My son's been out with me all weekend helping deliver water and cut trees. So everybody's doing what they do here in Knott County. Everybody's pitching in to help everybody.
In Knott County, crews were seen in the Holly Hills region cleaning up debris and mud from the parking lot in the shopping center. Just a few miles away at Alice Lloyd College, a crew was also seen cleaning up mud from the outdoor basketball courts. For residents without water, you can go to the Knott County Sportsplex. Bell County was a part of the region that encountered heavy flooding and damages this past weekend. A man feels his family will be in danger. Larry Miracle lives in a trailer in the mountains of Pineville. He and his family received flooding and damages to their home, but thankfully, no one was hurt.
We need help. Somebody's going to have to do something. Them cupboards are all stopped up.
Miracle told WYMT the culverts are blocked with sticks and debris, which causes the water back up into their property. He expressed his concerns for future flooding and wishes the county would provide answers. In Lee County, many folks are coming to terms with the amount of damage done by floodwaters. Lee County Search and Rescue says they have helped 3 stalled cars just this morning. They say roughly 50 businesses are closed today. Robbie McKinney has lived in Beattyville for 5 years. He's the manager of Lee County Farm Bureau Insurance, and he says he rode into town on his kayak to find roughly 2 feet of water in his business.
It'll be okay. We'll get through this. We'll get it rebuilt. We've done it before, and we will do it again.
The biggest concern expressed by people who live in the area, and even a concern from Lee County Search and Rescue, is how cold this water is and how this may not even be the last of it. Before making his way to eastern Kentucky, Governor Beshear conducted a weather briefing in Frankfort this morning. During the update, Governor Beshear says at least 11 people have now died from the flooding during the weekend. 5 of those deaths are out of eastern Kentucky. 3 people from Pike County, 1 man from Clay County, and 1 man from Floyd County. The judge executive told WYMT Lynn Klein was the Floyd County man who was killed.
Well, it's finally been a calm weather day across our area. That really is a good thing to see. We had the sunshine today. Temperatures certainly have been cold. It's been feeling like winter as we've had temperatures right now into the upper 20s to low 30s. There's even some mid 30s out there, including in Manchester, Harlan, Jonesville, Middlesboro, and also into Williamsburg. So it's a cold day, but good news is it's calm. That's what we want to see. But we look at the satellite and radar, we are seeing not much going on right now. We don't really have anything in terms of precipitation moving into our area. We have some clouds that are rolling into the region, and we'll continue to really see those clouds increase as we go into tonight. We still got plenty of flood alerts. All that green on the map is flood warnings. There are flood warnings. So those river levels, those creek levels, those water levels, they're all still pretty high, but we're not adding to it here as we go into tonight. That's a good sign. So we'll see some things start to improve. We look at the next 12 hours. It's going to be chilly, cold. We'll have temperatures fall through the 20s as we'll start to see clouds increase across our area. And then we gear up for another winter storm come Tuesday night into Wednesday. We got winter storm warnings across much of the area. I'll detail it for you coming up.
All right, thank you, Ben. Well, Governor Andy Beshear paid a visit to the mountains today, including Pike County. A number of business owners along US 23 in that county are cleaning up the aftermath of this weekend's flooding. But through the devastation, some business owners are finding a message within the mess. Alyssa Williams heard that message firsthand.
As you can see, it was up in here about 5 foot, which would be about, it was in this area through here.
This is Greg Tackett. He owns his own auto accessory shop here in Pike County.
We were expecting it to be bad, but it was actually a lot worse than what we were even thinking.
Tackett says most of his items he sells here, his personal vehicles and even some customers' vehicles are a complete loss. But regardless of this hurdle in his way, he remains optimistic.
I know that we've been hit with a lot of things this year alone, just with the weather and things like that. This is our part of the world, great people, and we're going to come right back and we'll be right here.
That optimism continues next door within his wife Tammy's clothing boutique. Tammy showed me all of the loss within her own shop, but one thing that was untouched by the water was this sign right here that says he makes beauty from ashes, a sentiment Tammy says they will carry with them through this.
And when I walked over here, I saw it and I said, okay, it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Our people, there's nobody like Eastern Kentucky mountain people.
The Tacketts say the best way folks can support them through this is by stopping in when they get things up and running again. In Pike County, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
WYMT and our sister station WKYT are partnering with Appalachian Regional Healthcare for a flood relief drive. ARH is asking for cleaning supplies and essential things like food, water, and clothing. You can also make a monetary donation online. Between 8 and 5, you can drop off items at ARH System Center in Lexington, ARH Disaster Relief Center in Hazard, and the former Highlands ARH Cancer Center building in Prestonsburg. Power outages remain an issue for some people in our area. There are several counties in eastern Kentucky that are showing colors other than blue. The county you notice most, just above Pike County, is Martin County. There are roughly 1,500 people without electricity there. In Leslie County, there's approximately 1,000 people waiting for power to be restored. Senate President Robert Stivers provided a statement on the flooding that happened here in Kentucky. And here's a part of it thanking first responders for their efforts. He says, quote, "I want to express my profound gratitude to the first responders, National Guard members, and local emergency crews who worked tirelessly through the weekend to rescue those in danger and keep our community members safe." He also says the destruction he has witnessed is heartbreaking. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center is providing immediate mental health support for those impacted by flooding here in the mountains. If you or a loved one are struggling, you can contact the center's 24-hour helpline at 1-800-422-1060. That line is available 24 hours a day. You can also dial the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 for immediate support. Folks in eastern Kentucky were not the only ones impacted by flooding. Many in Mingo County, West Virginia were overwhelmed by the volume of water, including in the Kermit area. We understand West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey arrived at the Williamson Field House a little while ago. That facility is acting as a shelter. Folks say they are in that area trying to help out as much as possible.
But I'll tell you what, we're down here on the ground and we're working. We're trying to help as much as possible. We've emphasized the local guys who are working very, very hard, the first responders and folks. That is, the more they're coordinating back up with us, we're going to do everything we can, use every bit of energy to be helpful.
The governor confirmed that one person had died in the state in the wake of the severe weather. He also says 50,000 water bottles were deployed to areas impacted by flooding.